How can you possibly think about being a motivational speaker? You don't have the contacts, you don't have the money, you don't know the right people. You're going to get up there and your mind's going to go blank. Forget all that. You remember that time you got up before some people and you panicked? You stood up and your mind sat down. Don't you remember? And I said, yes. And then I said, shut up. So you got to learn to stand up to yourself inside yourself and short circuit, override that conversation that's always going on. 85% of what that conversation will tell you is negative. It's negative. It will tell you you're tired when you really are not tired. It will tell you you can't do it. It will fill you with fear. So you've got to watch that conversation. And when you find it going on, you've got to stand up to it and say, I'm going to do this anyhow. I'm afraid, but I'm afraid not to do it. And I'm not going to let you stop me. The biggest challenge that you will have in life is you. There's an old African proverb that says this: there's no enemy within. The enemy outside can do us no harm. The next thing that is a key to self-motivation is that you've got to ask yourself, what do I want out of life? What do you want out of life? What do you want out of a job? What do you want out of a career? What do you want out of a relationship? What do you want? What gives you your life? How will you know when you got it? What will make you happy? You need to know. You need to start asking yourself some questions. What do I really, really, truly want? You need to be exact about that. Don't be vague. Oh, I just want to be happy. That's too vague. What will make you happy? How will you know when you got it? Zero in on it. Be exact. Be specific. And as you do that, that will stimulate that superconscious mind, or the reticular activating system of your mind, that will begin to find those things, to identify with it. And once you begin to determine that which you want, take the time to write it down. Don't just think about it. Write it down. That is a subjective process that engages the subconscious mind. Write it down. Once you write it down, read it 3 times a day: morning, noon, and night. Why is that important? Because what it will do, it will cause you to focus. It will cause you to concentrate. When that other conversation is going on, telling you what you cannot do, telling you all of the impossibilities and all of the obstacles, your
all right, welcome family. How's everyone doing? So happy y'all are here with me tonight. I'm about to get this screen shared. Tonight we're going to be running the executive credit playbook, talking about personal and business credit for high performing entrepreneurs and executives just like you. My goal is simple tonight. That's to help you build a profile that gets better approvals, better limits, and better terms without stress and without confusion. Drop some fire in the chat and give me some ones if y'all are here with me. All right, everybody. Let me see if y'all can see my screen. Perfect. All right, y'all can see the screen, correct? All right. Let's get going. All right, so here's a quick rundown of how we're going to do our call tonight. So we're going to do one win and one obstacle. We're going to talk about how lenders think and how to become an easy yes to a lender, okay? We're going to do an implementation at the end to make sure that we're going to pick one move for personal and one move for business credit. I'm going to open it up for Q&A, and we can do any hot seat or fireside chats virtually that we need to do, okay? And then we'll go on to next steps in how we can connect weekly, all right? So, but before we even get into that, right, let's do this wellness piece, because what without peace is not the goal, all right? So we're going to take a 20-second reset before we get into the lesson tonight, all right? So let's just take some deep breaths in and out. Take some with me, 20 seconds. and think, what would more access to capital make me, but hold on, what more access to capital make possible for me in the next quarter, right? So if I got more access to capital right now, what possibilities would happen for me? And that's going to be your target. And that's what we're going to be focused on building towards tonight, okay? So in the chat, I want you to go ahead and identify one current win that you feel like that you know that you have when it comes to your credit or business profile. And also in the chat, write down one obstacle that you may be facing when it comes to your personal and business profile. Go ahead and put it in the chat right now. All right. So let's look at the lender lenses. Let's simplify lending because lenders are only asking three questions. All right. They want to know, can you pay? That's going to be your income, cash flow, and reserves that's running through your actual bank accounts, right? Will you pay? They're talking about your credit history, your actual credit score, your payment behavior with other lenders, right? The three, how you're structured. This goes into your entity. Is your company actually set up? Any banking documents? Your actual time in business. So our job is to build an easy yes profile. So approvals stop feeling random. So now we're going to start with personal credit because it's impacting pricing, approvals, and often your business funding, especially early on when you're becoming an entrepreneur. Personal credit is your foundation. It's not about looking rich, it's about looking reliable, consistent, and low risk on paper. Let's talk about score targets. So 680 plus is workable for many banks and lenders, okay? When you're talking about 720 plus, you're likely to get stronger approvals and much better rates. 760 through 800 plus, you're going to get the best terms, elite pricing, right? You're going to be looking at a prime lending, best choices, right? But listen, score alone won't save a weak profile. So you need score and behavior. So that means you need credit score and good credit strong profile as well, all right? So type your current score range if you know it. You can type below 680, 680, 719, 720 to 759, or 760 plus, right? Let us know where you're at right now so that we can identify where we need to go. Your ideal personal credit. This is the power profile behavior lenders love, all right? 100% on time payments in the last 24 months matters most. Utilization under 30%. Power profile under 10%, right? At least one account on your credit profile that has 5+ years of history, okay? Sometimes you might have to go and be an authorized user on that account in order for you to get that age. But they want that mix of revolving and installment. That means credit, lines of credit, as well as loans, where it can be auto loan, home loans, regular, any type of installment loans, even furniture, those counts as installment loans, right? They want 0 to 3 card inquiries in the last 12 months. I tell people all the time we're going to talk about how to get inquiries removed. No fresh collections, charge-offs of public records, right? So these are the fastest wins, and it's usually utilization and inquiry control. So if you do anything else this week, focus on lowering your utilization before the statement closed, okay? Business credit is leverage. Is how you separate personal risk from business opportunities so your business can stand on its own. Business credit starts with structure. If your foundation is messy, lenders are going to be hesitant. They are going to shy away from you. All right, so let's review a checklist. You need to have your LLC or corporation with your EIN, right? They're going to ask for this. This is non-negotiable must-haves, all right? You need a real business address, no PO box, right? And also shy away from using your home address, right? Business phone and email on your domain. That's right. Then you want to have a business phone number and an email address, a professional email address that reflects your domain. Okay. A simple professional website that matches your records. Again, it can be simple, right? It just needs to simply say who you are, what you do, and how to get in contact with you, right? It can be a simple landing page link. Business bank account with consistent deposits. They need to know that this is an actual account that's being utilized, and and for the purposes that it's saying it's being utilized for. You need licenses if any are required. You're gonna need that. So this is your credibility package. Without it, you look like a hobby and not an enterprise. And banks and lenders want to lend to enterprises, profitable, structured, useful businesses, right? So right now, type ready if your business has the EIN, bank account, and website. If you are ready for funding, right? If you feel like you're ready to start building your business credit and get some funding, go ahead and type ready right now. So business credit has its own files and goals. You're gonna need a DUNS number and a DNB paydex. That's Dun and Bradstreet paydex score. You're going to need Experian business and Equifax business files. So this is different from your personal bureaus, right? This is different from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian on your personal side. This is your business side, right? You're going to need this for your business EIN and registration. So you're going to need the Experian business and Equifax business files. The target payday score is 80 plus. The score ranges from up to 100, I believe. When business credit, I have to look again. But anyway, the score ranges is totally different from personal. All right. So and is measured by on time and early payments. So there are two truths when it comes to business credit files and goals. 2+ years is ideal, but you can build from day one realistically. You can literally go into a bank, open up your business checking and savings with them, and apply for a business credit card and leave out with 3 banking products from a bank. I've done it before, so I'm talking to you from experience. And consistency matters more than one big deposit, right? Consistently use the bank and build their relationship and stay active. All right. So you need to know what's watching you. So when it comes to personal credit, you got personal bureaus like Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, like we just mentioned. When it comes to specialty bureaus, you have LexisNexis, which does risk and public records. You have check systems, which is banking history. You can request copies of these reports, and you have the right to dispute inaccurate or unauthorized information that's on any of these reports. If you have any old past employers or addresses reporting numbers on your credit report, then that is inaccurate. Okay. So before you get to calling about inquiries, right? If you're going to address inquiries, you need to know how to do it professionally. So you're going to pull all 3 credit reports. You're going to highlight the inquiries. You're going to identify what is truly unauthorized and inaccurate. You're going to have your details ready. I'm talking about name, last 4 social, date of birth, address history, right? You're also going to have the creditor name, date, and bureau ready. This is real life executive behavior. You're going to be organized, specific, and clean so the representative can assist you, right, and get you off the phone. All right. You do not want to call in jumbling over your words, not knowing what you need assistance with. Okay. Call in, having your paperwork in front of you, detailed, structured, organized, and you're going to get those results. Let's go over a sample script real fast. So here's a sample script that you can use when an inquiry is truly unauthorized. And let me give you an example. So, hi, my name is Maishi, and I'm calling about an inquiry I do not recognize. This inquiry is from CarMax on December 2023 online Experian report. I did not apply for credit with this company or authorize this pool. I would like to open a dispute for an unauthorized inquiry and have it investigated and removed if confirmed. Is there any documentation that you need for me to send other than what I'm telling you? They're probably gonna be like, no, ma'am, this is enough. I put this in for removal, and wait 24 to 48 hours. I'm gonna say thank you so much and have a great day. Boom, inquiry gone off my report, just like that. Okay, so that's a example of how you will dispute inquiries off your report. All right, we don't play games. We protect the profile the right way. Okay, and we get it done immediately. All right, let's talk about LexisNexis and check systems. All right, this is where people get blocked and they don't even know why. LexisNexis is a rich data and public record history used by lenders and insurers. So it's important to always check your LexisNexis. Real talk right now. Here's my LexisNexis report right here. I just checked it, just pulled it, and when I got home, I looked at it to make sure everything good, and we're good to go. Check system is gonna be looking at your banking history. You study your overdraft, closures, negative notes, anything like that. So if you can't open bank accounts or you keep on getting weird denials, and you need to check these two, right, and make sure that you clean them up. So if you didn't know about this and it's just something that you might need assistance with, go ahead and type checks, CHEX, in the chat right now if you ever been denied for a bank account. All right, now let's talk about application strategy. This is where people damage their profile by moving too fast, right? Listen, I just said earlier on my women's empowerment call. Hey, listen, the great Colonel said, slow down, take your time because I'm in a rush, right? So listen, let's go ahead and get this built the first time so we're not making costly mistakes and having to start back over because we're messing up a profile that's being built out or restructured or renewed, right? So that it can be funding worthy, all right? So again, moving too fast, that's a big thing. So let's see. So before you apply personally, you want to make sure that your utilization is under 30%. And under 10%, remember, is real power. You're going to make sure that you don't have any recent lates. You're going to limit inquiries, so no shotgun applying, right? We're going to apply strategically. We're going to know what lenders is checking, what credit report. We're going to know that, hey, this lender is most likely to let me stack products. What I mean, this person is likely to give me multiple credit cards, checking, and a savings account or something like that, right? So I'm gonna go to this lender, or this lender might got line of credits, personal line of credits, business line of credits, personal credit cards, business credit cards, and I own home, so I can get a home equity line of credit also. So you want to think about that, right? How can you stack with one lender with one credit report? So no shotgun applying. Everything is strategy, all right? You want to make sure your income is documented and aligned with what you're actually requesting. So we're not going to go tell the people that we're making $1 million a year and knowing that on our tax return, it said we making $78,000 a year, right? And then we ask for this outrageous limit with no history of this type of cash flow going through our account or being filed like that, right? So that's what we're not gonna do. So we're gonna clean up first, then apply for prime products, all right? High limits come to low risk behavior, all right? We're not gonna chase the money. We're gonna set us up for the money chase us, all right? I love this. So let's talk about when we get to applying for business. So before you apply in business, we want to make sure all our records are aligned. I'm talking about from your entity, your EIN, the business address, the business phone, the business email, the business website. We want to make sure that we have bank account active for 3 to 6+ months with real activity. Okay, we're talking about withdrawals, deposits, ACHs, whatever, right? Credit card, debit card payments. So all of that. So we want to see revenue, time in business, honest and consistent. We want to make sure that the checks and public records are good on the business. And we want to make sure that we're starting vendor accounts plus business cards, then move to lines and then loans. All right. If you're ever talking about what's a vendor account, think about something like a Home Depot credit card, Staples credit card, right? Those are good vendor accounts that will help you jump to lines and loans and lines of credit with other lenders. All right, let's talk about type of personal lending. So when it comes to personal lending, you got categories like credit cards, and you can get them in type of banks and retail. You have installment loans that come in auto, personal, student, mortgage, HELOC. HELOC stands for home equity line of credit, and then you have lines of credits. Your mix matters. The goal is a balanced, mature profile, not a desperate one. All right. When it comes to business lending, you got vendor credits like net 30s, net 60s. You even got some net 90s, depending on what company it is, right? To help you build your business credit. You can do business credit cards with or without a PG. PG is personal guarantee, right? You got line of credits where you can use as working capital. You pull it as needed, right? And pay back only what you borrow. You have term loans and SBA loans, right? For bigger and larger projects that can give you larger amounts, right? For longer terms with lower paybacks. Then you have merchant cash advances, right? Very high cost and can be your last resort unless you got a high cash flow going in where you can pay them back early, right? To avoid that high interest. So if you don't know your exact exit strategy, don't touch the high cost money. That's would be my expert advice, right? Now, you want to make sure that you're matching your lending right up with the right lender. So you want to match the lender to your actual money goal. So big banks, they are stricter, but they offer the best terms for strong profiles. And you see, as we went through the profile setup, a strong profile is not hard to set up, right? It is not hard to have. It's actually the fundamentals and essentials to actually having a true business profile. So big banks, they may seem stricter, but they do have the best terms for stronger profiles, and they do offer the best stacking. When I'm saying that, you can have multiple lending products inside of one institution. So that means one credit pool. Community banks, credit unions, and relationship based, they are amazing as well. Same, you get the same and better treatment as bigger banks, right? Then you got fintechs for faster approvals, data driven. You can find them online, those type of lending companies that you find online that are not considered traditional, right? You got CDFIs and nonprofit lenders. That's when you try to do your grants and stuff like that to help options for small small and underserved businesses, right? So you got a lot of strategy wins and but random applies definitely will equate to a lot of losses, right? So go ahead and make sure that when we get to doing it, we're doing it with great strategy, okay? So avoid these common credit mistakes. The top mistakes I want you to stop is maxing out cards, then applying for more, ignoring check systems, then losing bank access, applying everywhere instead of asking the requirements first. Did you know you can simply call and say, hey, I'm thinking about applying for a credit card with your company. I am just wondering what are the requirements, what credit score range, and what bureaus do you usually pull from? They will definitely let you know that information and that right there, if they don't have a pre-approval where you can do a soft pull, that right there was your pre-qualifications and you would know right then and there if it's worth the risk, right? So think about that using MTAs without a plan, right? Getting stuck with high interest lending and mixing personal and business finances. That's a no commingling funds. We left that a long time ago. We don't do that no more, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and make a commitment to ourselves tonight, all right? This is the implementation time. This is the difference between the people who learn and the people who actually win. All right. I asked y'all to go ahead and make sure y'all was ready. So I'm gonna I'm gonna put them in a chat. How about that? And then I'm also gonna ask y'all to write them down, right? But you're gonna tell yourself one personal credit move you will make. So it's gonna be one personal credit move I will make is One business credit move I will make is, one lender relationship I will build this quarter is, and before next Tuesday, I will schedule it and report back. Okay? So you're going to say, my one move is, and I will do it by. Is there anybody that want to share their one move? I'm going to put it in here so y'all can copy and paste it in y'all notes. So y'all can have in y'all phones. I love that. All right. So we're going to go over our quick pro hacks. So the smart habits we're going to do is going to make sure we're paying down our cards before the statement date, not just the due date, okay? The statement date is actually what's reported to the credit bureaus, not the due date. So we're going to pay before the statement date. We're going to keep utilization under 30%, all right? We're going to use soft pull pre-qualifiers when available. We're going to build better banking relationships. We're going to do consistent deposits and have low risk behavior. We're going to check LexisNexis and check systems, not just the 3 credit bureaus, right? And again, we ain't got time for no fraud, no fake disputes, or CPNs. We're going to use these rules in our favor and get our scores up. All right? Listen, we want to stay connected. We love to stay connected. And if you want to stay plugged in for our weekly events, replays, and resources, all you have to do is text us right now. Text your name and your email to 832-900-4992. We'll reply with the weekly event links and how to stay connected with us at Complete Nation. Now, executives, your access to capital is not luck. It's structure, strategy, and consistency. And I'm going to see you next time at the same time, giving you the same standard, okay? I really appreciate y'all for connecting with me tonight. And I will see y'all again, like I said, next Tuesday. Join us tomorrow on Wednesday at noon for the lunch and learn, and then we'll be back Thursday night with Mark as he's doing purpose, mindset, and power. And then we have Friday lunch and earn with Geraldine and Jennifer again. And every morning, Monday through Friday, we are on at 5:15 a.m. with the ladies and 6:30 a.m. with the men. All right. If y'all don't have anything for me, I'm going to wish y'all a blessed night. Thank you.